Okay. App that this is the patent for. I'm not sure how that works legally, but honestly, if someone wants to go out there and make it and benefit the world, go ahead. I won't hold anything over you if you take my idea and run with it for a profit. I hate money. It probably would be called Memory Lane. I think would be a cool way to tie it all together. Maybe, I mean, the name doesn't necessarily matter. The essence of what you would actually be doing on it is the thing that is beneficial and would be used and monetized. I mean, if it's monetized, I don't think apps can just be without them having an income, because otherwise, like, who puts the app together so that there is any bit of an income? Man, that is a scary bridge. It comes up on either side, so you can't see until someone's like actually on it. But basically, it would use, I mean, ironic that I'm driving right now, motion sensory data that apps can already, like, there's nothing that doesn't already exist in other apps that I would be inventing. Like, this isn't some software breakthrough, because I mean, not only I'm not capable of that, I don't code at all whatsoever, but so, like, I don't know how difficult it would be to bring this about, but I do understand it's possible, because it's just taking things that already exist and kind of just putting them into one. It would basically be a social media that would lead to less social media. Honestly, it'd be initially like an explosion, or I mean, I think people would consistently still use it, but it would lead to more real life connections, hopefully. I mean, maybe not necessarily, and there's probably issues that I'm not even aware of that could possibly arise from it being the case. I mean, first of all, if I were one to actually build this, so if you're taking my idea and not following this, you're a bad person, frankly. But as in any update or like major thing affecting the app, you would have to like test run it either in like a smaller area or just more heavily surveilled, so that you can actually make sure you're doing only what you desire to be doing by enacting a change. And that's how politics should work, frankly. By the way, that should never not be the case whenever something that's affecting other people's lives should be going. Sorry. Okay, that's unnecessary. Basically, the app would be social media using sensory motion technology that already exists. So similar to Pokemon Go, which, like, that kind of blew up for a little bit. People would go out in the world and go and catch Pokemon, but it would essentially be as like other social media apps, like an Instagram, like a Facebook, like a Twitter, where you can post, maybe like words, and you can definitely do pictures. But one of the key features that, like, obviously is the case with other apps, like you can post videos with audio. However, this will be like a more primary feature of the app, is just recording your voice, or just saying words that you can then set a voice to read it from. And especially with like just like free AI softwares that exist now, have plenty of just like voice features to do that. Like, that's something that's constantly growing in the world today, which probably wouldn't be that difficult to implement in this app. But yeah, basically you go places and you say a little something, and it's something you can use for yourself. You go somewhere where you're constantly working out, running, like you're running around a park, and you always like have your headphones in listening. And that's the thing, it'll be an app where you, like, obviously in settings can adjust it for being the case, but you can have it just open so that it's like all of the things. So it's like, okay, the main feature that's like making this important, like yeah, I'm specifying on it being spoken words, but the main idea is that you post and it is in that physical location. So as your phone detects where you are, and again, like, for some people, only when they have the app open, if they're curious. Or you can set it to it always being the case. So if you have it like always the case, and you have certain settings to where it's like you open it to any posts in the area, or certain posts, or certain, like, you can select what certain groups or teams, or like you can have friends and stuff, and then you could start like a group or like an area thing that people can join, or you can have like invite only like private ones, and it's like little things, and you can join or unselect as many as you want of those, so that you can just have it open constantly to those, and then like only when you actually open the app you can select it to be open to anything, because it might, I mean, if this blows up, like people might be using it constantly, and just like everywhere you go there's like a little voice, a little thing being said, a little word of encouragement, a little post or something, a little something worthwhile. Like you're driving somewhere and it might just be like a picture and then like a brief description. So it's like someone took a sunset picture here, and like you just go and see what that was like. You're like, wow, like this is a good sunset spot. But like I said, using it more for yourself, like you're going on a run and you literally like map out where you want to run in the future. You're going around a park and it's like a mile loop, and you literally give yourself some things to say. And especially like if you're planning very specific workouts like that could be used for runners. I mean obviously you know the distance you're on a track, but like it's a lot easier to have someone screaming in your ear while doing it. But I think it would also be a massive benefit to people that, like myself, are rather introverted but are very, very personable, or like want to be, I don't know how to say this exactly, but I love when I'm actually with people, but it's difficult to be with them. Like that gray area when you're not quite with the people yet, but then you want to be. I mean, it is difficult to break the ice for a lot of people. And I think like it's called breaking the ice for a reason. People have a lot of ice sometimes, and I think this would be something very beneficial to a lot of people like that, particularly people suffering from mental illness that are truly alone, and like that's weighing on them a lot more than most realize. And they can just hear things that people that are actually in that area say, and then even themselves, like you're a little bold enough to post something you really care about, and you're like you're walking around and a poem came to you and you write it out and put it there, and then someone that actually just sees you in that area, and again, this is where it might become a little less great, but I don't see how that would be the case, because it's people in the actual area. So it's not like you're spying on certain areas that like you don't have access to. It's like, no, like if you're literally in that area, you're literally in that area. And then not only there'd be great availability to report people doing things on the app, and like if people are just saying awful things, it's like you can report them very easily. But again, there's less anonymity because it's literally where you are physically. I mean, you can keep it completely anonymous for yourself, and you're just posting like little things, whatever. But again, people might notice that it's you actually there if they're like on it frequently enough and see you walking around like and in the spot where it's posted, and like they might just come up and say hi. And I think that would be a beautiful part of it. But again, like if there's something not great happening there, well, then the people that are doing the not great things are literally in that location, and you know what? Like, report or literally call the police. Like, you don't need the app for that. So that's my 2 cents. I think having a phone is something that you should use and not be used by. I don't really like any other social media, but this would be one that I would use, especially if I made it, where you kind of just leave a bit of yourself in the places you go that others might walk through your memory lane. And that's my proposal.